Welcome back to the channel. 5 years ago, I only threw Discraft, and then over the course of time, I've just tried a lot of different things, and right now I mainly throw MVP. But over the last year, I've got to try a lot of Discraft new stuff. They've got some new molds out, and I thought, what the heck? Let's go back in time and build ourselves a Discraft bag, and if I were to only throw Discraft, what would my bag look like? And so this is what we've got here. I want to say a huge thanks to the sponsor of today's videos, which is House of Flight Discs. They hooked me up with a lot of discs in this bag, so I just want to say thanks to them. We're gonna do a little commercial for them right now. Are local to Fort Smith, Arkansas, definitely go show them some love. Go check them out. They got a lot of good plastic in their store. This video would not be possible without them. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm doing a huge giveaway at the end of the year. If we can hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to be building somebody their dream bag. First off, we'll start with putters. I putt with a Roach. I was putting with Anthony Brella's Focuses a couple times. I really liked them, but for now, sticking with the Roach. I used to putt with Lunas, but I really like the Roach. It was kind of tried and true to me back to when I putted with Discraft, so sticking with the Roach, but I would consider Anthony Brella's Focus. Those are some sweet discs. Straight into throwing putters. I've got two of them, keeping this simple. As I've matured in my disc golf game, I've realized that keeping it simple sometimes is best. Got a 2025 Tour Series Luna. This is such a fun disc for me to throw. Actually, it's my furthest flying putter. Flies farther than my Envies. It's got more glide. Man, you can just put this on a baby hyzer, flip it up, push dead straight, maybe get a little bit of turn, but it pretty much just nestles down in the fairway. It doesn't really go crazy. And so the Luna is one of my favorite throwing putters of all time. It is probably going to end up making my MVP bag, because it flies straighter than my Envy, further than my Envy, and it also has more glide than my Proxy. It flies almost just like my Proxy, but it has more glide. So thinking about bagging this in my current bag. All right, so a great compliment to the Luna is this Kratos. The Kratos is basically a Luna, except for it has this bead right here, and it's a little bit more overstable. But other than that, it's pretty much a Luna. I'll throw this into a little bit of a headwind, or if I know I want something to finish a little bit left, it's a great compliment to the Luna. So that's it for the throwing putters. Into approach disc, greatest approach disc of all time, probably. Not probably, probably is. Everyone tries to mimic the Zone. What's a Discraft bag without a Zone? Not a Discraft bag. So bag of Zone for sure. This is a little side note. Let's get off topic. We're on topic, but we're switching to MVP. MVP has not quite dialed this disc in yet. They have the Entropy, which doesn't feel like an Envy, flies kind of like an Envy. And then they have the Tempo. Tempo feels like an Envy, but isn't quite as stable as an Envy. And so I'm really considering bagging a Zone in my MVP bag, because this Zone flies a little bit more stable than my Tempo. And man, I just wish the Tempo was a little bit more stable. I wish they would come up with a more stable run of Tempo, because I actually love my Tempo. But I wish there was a disc in between, like the Entropy and the Tempo. Just MVP, if you can, try to make a more Zone-like disc, okay? That's all I'm saying. That's it for all the putters and putt and approach. Let's get straight into mid-ranges. This is where I also keep it simple. You gotta keep it simple, guys. 2 buzzes, 2 Maltas. We'll start with buzzes. This buzz is a Buzzsaw buzz. It is actually slightly less stable than this. This is a 2025 Halloween Glow Beetlejuice buzz, something like that. I just wiped the stamp. But they pretty much fly identical. I just think this Buzzsaw is slightly more understable. And so I'm not gonna be taking my hexes out to throw buzzes, but I will say buzzes are my second favorite mid-range of all time. So yeah, hexes are number 1, buzzes are number 2 for me, but it is what it is. Next, we've got some Maltas. I don't know why, but I always forehand the Z Malta, and I always backhand the ESP Malta. So I don't know why. I can do either with either, so I don't know. But this is the prettiest ESP Malta I think I've ever seen. It has pink, blue, orange, and like this pink, or not the pink, but like green and, I don't know, green and yellow. And then the backside is it's just a gorgeous disc. It's like, man, that's, and it's money stamp. It's like, that's crazy. But anyways, love the Maltas. So now we're gonna get into Fairway Drivers. This disc I have fallen in love with. It reminds me, it's basically Discraft's Crave, and that is the Cicada. So we got the Discraft Cicada. Basically, you throw this on a little bit of hyzer. It's great for any arm speed, and it's just gonna go dead straight. May have a little bit of turn to it, but it doesn't really have much of a finish, just goes dead straight. It's a fantastic disc to have in the bag. It reminds me of a Crave, and it's basically Discraft's version of a Crave, so you can't go without that. And then these two I have fallen in love with. It is the Anthony Brella Sagara. I really, really love this disc. It's like a slower Tesla with a little bit more glide. I can rip on this thing, a little bit of hyzer, a flip up, go dead straight, maybe have a little bit of turn, and then just go dead straight. It's like my Luna, but a little bit faster, and well, not a little bit, a lot faster, a little bit more stable. And then I have, this is brand new, I haven't even thrown this yet. This is a ESP Sagara. I'm hoping that this is a little less stable than this. They would complement each other very good. I can't say enough about the Sagara. This is one of the few discs that may end up actually in my MVP bag because it's a slower Tesla, and I love the Tesla. So Sagaras are fantastic. And then we have this 2020 Z Sparkle Raptor. This is the oldest disc in my bag. I've had this disc forever. I threw this on forehands, mainly forehands only. I guess if there's a headwind, I'll rip it on a backhand. It's just pushes straight, always has a finish. It's a Raptor. Another disc I've fallen in love with, I did not throw this 5 years ago. Kind of wish I would have. That is the Vulture. The Vulture is basically a faster version of the Sagara for me, especially this one. This one's, I'm going 400 plus. It is just straight flying, put it on a little bit of hyzer, and it just goes straight. Has a little bit of turn, a little bit of fade, but it pretty much stays on that straight line. This is a ESP Vulture, and it is actually more stable than this Z plastic. So I can rip this on a little bit of hyzer, flip up, go dead straight, and then always have a good strong finish. And so they're good complements to one another. And then you can't have a Discraft bag without a Paul Macbeth Onyx. This Onyx is basically between the two Vultures. I have it in there as a backup if I lose a Vulture, but it's in between the two. It goes straighter than the ESP, but finishes a little harder than the Z. But it's pretty much a backup to one of my Vultures. But I gotta show Paul Macbeth some love. Hey, got an Onyx in here. Speaking of Paul Macbeth, we're gonna get into, oh, I got one extra fairway driver. I forgot about this. It never hurts to have a really flippy 9-speed. This is a Heat. I mean, that's just my choice. I threw Heats back in the day. Love the Heat. Hyzer flip, roller disc, whatever. It's just always gonna be turning, going to the right if you're a right-hand, backhand player. So, had a bag of Heat. Now we're into distance drivers. We'll start with Paul Macbeth and his Zeus. When I played Discraft, or when I played with Discraft 5 years ago, I didn't bag a Zeus. I never really could get on the Zeus train, but I don't know if it was my arm speed back then or what, but now I absolutely love this thing. It's very trustworthy. It's always gonna have a little bit of a finish to it, but for the Z plastic, I thought this was gonna be a lot more stable, but it's not. Actually can get a big flex on it, so it's a great little bomber disc. Speaking of bomber discs, the Scorch is a must in my bag. This thing I can put on hyzer, it'll flip up and it pushes straight forever, and then I get this late turn, which is really, really, really nice. It just has this nice turn, and then it has a little bit of a finish. It's probably the furthest flying disc in the bag. It's close to the Zeus, but it flies extremely far. It has a little bit more understability, so it holds that turn longer, and so you're definitely gonna get more flight if it does that. And then we go crazy flippy, which is one of the most flippiest Hades I've ever had. Or it's crazy. Literally throw it like this, it'll flip up. As it's flipping up, it kind of turns to, or fades to the right, but it'll get to flat, and then it'll actually start getting, and it'll go right forever and never come back. And so very flippy disc, rollers, backhand turnovers that I know are never going to come out of the flight. And so very good to have a Hades in the bag. Last but not least, I got 3 Forces. These are some of my favorite discs in the bag. The ESP Glow 2020 Leadstone Force and the Rikiwasaki Z Swirl Force pretty much are the same. They fly very similar. I actually think the ESP may be slightly more stable. This is closer to the Zeus that I have, but it's a good backup for the Zeus, but it also does pretty well in headwinds. I usually throw this on forehands and this on backhands, but I can do either or. It doesn't matter to me. I can throw them both. And then last but not least, this is the Meat Hook 5-claw Z-Force. This thing's very overstable. Not like crazy overstable, but I'm gonna throw it into a headwind. I can do forehand flexes with it, backhand flexes. If I want something that I know is gonna go left or right, depending on how I'm throwing it, this is the disc I'm grabbing. It's a great to have a very overstable, fast disc in the bag. But that is it for what's in the bag. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's what I would throw if I threw Discraft. And there's probably 5 of these discs that are gonna make my MVP bag that I'm gonna pull a few discs out with, just to change some things up, get bored sometimes, just wanna throw some new stuff in the bag. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to go check out House of Flight Pro Shop, located inside Play It Again Sports here in Fort Smith. If you're from around this area, definitely go check them out, showing some love. Till I catch you in the next one, be sure to go in peace and be blessed.